afternoon from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California. The road to Super Bowl 22 stops right here. This afternoon, we're going to play the biggest football game in the history of Western civilization. Or for this year, anyway. The Washington Redskins against the Denver Broncos.
AFC の一色で第1位になりましたデンバーブロンコス対、そして NFC 東地区第1位ワシントンレッドスキンズとの対戦になりました。
Super Bowl 22 was viewed as a contest between one man and a team. The Washington Redskins and head coach Joe Gibbs were making their third Super Bowl appearance in the past 5 seasons, thanks to their cast of many, while the Denver Broncos and head coach Dan Reeves were playing in their second straight Super Bowl because of the superhuman talents of John Elway, number 7. Elway's skills were matched against Doug Williams' heart. Cast as the Super Bowl's Rodney Dangerfield, number 17 was a quarterback who had not gotten the respect that he deserved after leading the Redskins into pro football's premier pressure event. The stage was set for the most stunning beginning in Super Bowl history, as the Redskins and the Broncos braced for the ambush at Super Bowl 22.
Spread black left slot. Leave 15X cut out Y sneak on one. On one, right? Black left slot. Yeah.
On their first offensive play of Super Bowl 22, the Denver Broncos immediately demonstrated that there is no adequate defense for speed and daring.
Set high!
Wide to the far side, 84, Ricky Nattiel. Shotgun formation on first down for Elway. That's a surprise.
Come on, John! Red 98, hot!
Broncos will go right to the shotgun. First snap, Elway drops to the 35, and he's throwing it up the far side. Nattiel is open. Ball coming. Nattiel catches it for a touchdown. 56-yard touchdown pass. Elway to Nattiel. First Bronco plays. 13:03 to go in the first quarter.
The quickest touchdown ever in a Super Bowl was simply Denver doing what they did best. The first time Elway touched the football, he launched a 56-yard rocket to rookie Ricky Nattiel, who had streaked past Redskin cornerback Barry Wilburn.
Well, the Redskins are stunned. First horse out of the gate doesn't always win the race.
While Denver stormed out of the gate, the Redskins stumbled. Washington was suffering from an attack of nerves, while John Elway was attacking with nerves of steel. On Denver's second offensive possession, the Redskins appeared to have no answer for the AFC's top-ranked offense and its multi-talented quarterback.
Denver in the gun again to Steve Sewell. And Sewell wants to throw the ball. Elway wide open. Here comes the pass. 25, 20, 15, and Elway dives to the 12-yard line.
A play that began as a sweep out of the shotgun formation turned into the first pass reception by a quarterback in a Super Bowl when Elway slipped around defensive end Charles Mann. With 3rd and 3 at the Redskins' 7-yard line, Denver's head coach Dan Reeves needed a play that would, at the very least, keep the drive alive. In a similar situation, when these same two teams had met a year earlier, Reeves had sent Elway on a quarterback draw. And when Denver successfully blocked out defensive tackle Dave Butts, the Broncos scored a touchdown. In Super Bowl 22, Denver would attempt this same strategy. Only this time, the Redskins were ready. Dave Butts, number 65, was involved in a crossing stunt with number 77, Darryl Grant, who slanted into the point of attack. This allowed Butts to have a clear shot at Elway, who was dropped for a loss. Denver settled for a Rich Carlos field goal and what seemed to be a valuable historical edge.
No team has won a Super Bowl game after trailing by more than 7 points at any time during the game. Redskins are down 10 here in the first quarter.
Kick it off for the 3rd time again. Sanders is deep, and he catches this one inside the 2. Turns, and he's up to the 10. Knocked down at the 17-yard line and loses the football. Big pile up and around the 15-yard line. Who's got it?
Though Denver believed they had the ball, after a frantic scramble, the officials ruled that Redskins linebacker Raven Caldwell had dug it out of the mob. Unfortunately for Dan Reeves, the replay only showed that the fumble had been caused by a punishing hit by Ken Bell, number 35. Once the ball was on the ground, several players had a shot at it. But when it disappeared beneath the pile, the replay was inconclusive, and the ball was awarded to Washington. Many would later argue that this play was the turning point of Super Bowl 22. But while Denver was denied an important opportunity, their defense never allowed the Redskins to cross midfield on their next 2 possessions. Everything seemed to be going wrong for the Redskins, even the basics, like a 7-step drop. Late in the first quarter, Doug Williams slipped and twisted his left knee. Williams was ruled down before the apparent fumble, but when he tried to walk back to the huddle, he collapsed. It appeared as though it couldn't get any worse for the Redskins, until Williams' replacement, Jay Schrader, number 10, was immediately sacked by Carl Mecklenburg. Denver dominated the first quarter 10-0, and there was nothing to indicate that the Broncos were riding into the Super Bowl's biggest ambush ever. As the second quarter began, quarterback Doug Williams had tested out his sore left knee and was ready to return to the lineup. Even more encouraging was the fact that Denver's offense had finally started to stall. After completing 3 out of his first 4 passes, Elway completed only 1 out of his next 9. Some were misfires. Others were caused by defensive pressure that allowed the Redskins to regroup.
We're going to start making them in a minute. We'll start making them. Everybody keep your head up. Stand.
Washington's first offensive play of the second quarter ignited the most stunning 15 minutes of football in NFL history.
The Washington Redskins offense is back on the football field, and so is number 17, Doug Williams. Play action fake. Williams going up top. Got Sanders on the fly at midfield. He's gone unless they can catch him. The 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Just like that. Well, Doug Williams and company light it up, and they're back in this game.
Yes, sir. We coming back. We're going to do it.
Obviously, they're going to pass. Williams to pass, lobs it up. He's got Clark at the goal line. He's got it. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. The Redskins have arrived. They woke up. He'll hand off to Smith, the deep back. Good hole. Midfield. Horse race to the 40. Far side 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Timmy Smith are seeing a virtuoso performance. Action fake this time. Faked out everybody. He's got Sanders in the clear at the 10. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. That's a new Super Bowl record. 4 touchdowns in 1 quarter.
Get another one right here.
Let's see. Do they go up top? Lobs it into the end zone. He's got Didier. Touchdown, Washington Redskins. Holy.
The Redskins scored 35 points on 5 straight possessions, and by the end of this unbelievable second quarter, everyone in the stadium had memorized the words to hail to the Redskins. Denver's collapse was as sudden as it was complete. Bronco defensive coordinator Joe Collier's unit had given up 5 touchdowns on only 19 plays from scrimmage and had helped to create a new Super Bowl hero. Doug Williams made the most of his moment in history. However, number 17 wasn't just the first black quarterback to start in the Super Bowl. For one magnificent quarter, he was the finest quarterback ever to play the game. This electrifying performance began when Bronco cornerback Mark Haynes crowded the line of scrimmage on the first play of the second quarter, and when wide receiver Ricky Sanders gained an uninterrupted release. Haynes was beaten deep by Williams' accurate throw. Bronco safety Tony Lilly arrived too late as Sanders took the ball in stride for a record-tying 80-yard touchdown reception. The Redskins needed only 5 plays on their second possession to take the lead, 14-10. Gary Clark's diving catch shocked the Broncos and put Washington ahead, 14-10. But this jolt was nothing compared to the second play of Washington's next offensive series. With Denver's defense slanting in the wrong direction, rookie Timmy Smith, number 36, followed the counter gap blocking of his pulling offensive lineman. When tackle Joe Jacoby sealed up the inside, and guard Raleigh McKenzie buried inside linebacker Ricky Hundley, Smith was off on a 58-yard touchdown run that boosted Washington's lead to 21-10. Used very little during his 1987 rookie season, Smith had never started an NFL game prior to Super Bowl 22. From midfield on Washington's 4th possession, Williams threw another deadly accurate mid-range pass that Ricky Sanders extended into a 50-yard touchdown. Sanders would catch 9 passes for 193 yards on the day, a new Super Bowl receiving record. Super Bowl 22 had turned into a dream come true for one quarterback and a nightmare for another. Elway was unable to keep pace with Williams, and throughout the second quarter he was too often bold when patience might have served him better. Trailing 28-10, Denver's defense needed to rest, but on 2nd and 2, Elway was intercepted by Barry Wilburn, the cornerback he had victimized earlier for a touchdown. Elway's misfire ended Denver's hopes, while Washington marched on thanks to the tough and gritty performance of their former backup quarterback. Neither pressure from the Broncos nor a gimpy knee was going to keep number 17 from his date with destiny. In Super Bowl 22, the character of Doug Williams surpassed the achievement itself. However, Washington's performance was anything but a one-man show. It was simply the result of a team reaching perfection in all phases of the game. Following Wilburn's interception, the Redskins drove 79 yards in 1 minute and 10 seconds. When Williams found tight end Clint Didier, Washington scored their 5th straight touchdown. In the second quarter of Super Bowl 22, the Washington Redskins established postseason records with 35 points and 356 yards of offense in one period. Amazingly, this Super Sunday ambush had taken the total time of possession of 5 minutes, 54 seconds. By the second half of Super Bowl 22, Doug Williams had created his very own legend.
He's a new namer. He'll be the most valuable player, too, isn't he? That's what really counts.
It would take a magical effort equal to that of the Redskins' second quarter in order for Denver to get back into the game. However, not even a magician like John Elway could make the 25-point deficit and Washington's punishing defense disappear. Hurried and rushed throughout the second half. John Elway didn't panic, and he didn't freeze. He simply couldn't do what he had to do to be effective. The Redskins' defense wouldn't allow it. With no threat of a running game, Washington blitzed a safety or linebacker on every big play, cutting off escape lanes and turning up the pressure. Elway was sacked 5 times and constantly hurried. Elway fired 1 interception to a wide-open Tony Davis, number 34, 2 more to Barry Wilburn, number 45. And when Denver managed to gain only 2 yards in the third quarter, the competitive phase of Super Bowl 22 ended.
Ladies and gentlemen, the orange has been squeezed.
For the second straight season, the Denver Broncos lost pro football's biggest game. Once again, they were forced to watch someone else live out their dream.
Most valuable player of Super Bowl 22 is quarterback Doug Williams of the Washington Redskins.
First black quarterback to start a Super Bowl, the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I tell you what I hope Doug Williams does, Frank. I hope he puts to bed once and for all about the black athlete in professional football.
For Doug Williams, the Washington Redskins, and their fans, this triumphant story would be punctuated by another record-shattering performance.
I'd hand that ball to Timmy Smith, see what he can do with it again.
Here goes Timmy Smith on the left side. Good blocks, 40, 35, 30. Breaks it outside of the 20. He's to the 15 and pulled down at the 11. Holy cow, say the Broncos. Who is that kid?
Running back Timmy Smith, number 36, had been a surprise starter that Joe Gibbs hoped would give the Redskins some outside speed. Gibbs, obviously got what he wanted. And by game's end, this rookie had broken Marcus Allen's Super Bowl rushing record by gaining 204 yards on 22 carries.
Snap, here comes Timmy Smith up the middle. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
Fittingly, Timmy Smith closed out the scoring as the Washington Redskins convincingly won the greatest prize pro football has to offer.
Hail to the Redskins begins here in San Diego. The football game is over. The Washington Redskins, for the second time in 5 years, are National Football League champions.
In Super Bowl 22, the Washington Redskins discovered a winning formula by mixing tradition with a dash of the unexpected. The Redskins of head coach Joe Gibbs and general manager Bobby Beathard combined skill and daring with a kind of fundamental football that invariably triumphs in pressure situations. It was a record-breaking performance by a determined group of men who ambushed the favored Denver Broncos 42-10 and earned the right to be called world champions. In the 1987 season, as in the past, 6 players, one from each division, were nominated for the Gillette NFL Most Valuable Player Award. This year, for the first time, fans across the entire nation participated in the selection process by dialing a pre-assigned phone number to cast their vote. Accordingly, because of the wider reach and growing prestige of this award, a new, more imposing trophy was designed. This impressive new statue was presented to the player who received the most votes in the highly publicized nationwide balloting among the half-dozen nominees. These 6 superstars were deemed their division's most valuable by a panel of former players and coaches. But of the sensational 6, only one remarkable player was the people's choice for the Gillette MVP Most Valuable Player Award. Few defensive players have ever had a better season than number 92, Philadelphia's Reggie White, enjoyed in 1987. With 21 sacks in just 12 games, White was one shy of tying Mark Gastineau's NFL record. Though his talent is immense, this licensed minister gives credit to a higher authority.
To people looking at Reggie White, I want them to see Jesus so that they can maybe come and ask me, hey, what makes you do this? What makes you get past the guy, get to the quarterback? What makes you get 21 sacks in 12 games? I let them know, hey, it's Jesus.
Since joining the Eagles 3 years ago, White has delivered the gospel on Sundays in the form of the big play.
As far as making the big plays when we needed them, they weren't really happening as often as they are now that Reggie's in there. He's made a tremendous impact on our defense.
There was no greater testament to his talent than this astounding play against the Redskins on opening day.
Back goes Doug Williams, head sack back at the 30. Reggie White comes up with the football. Pulled the ball away and took off for a touchdown. That was almost like magic. His wife Sarah is here and she is probably hysterical.
The first time I met him, we were introduced in a church. And I looked at him, and of course, the normal thing that you think, God, this guy's big. I knew he had the power. I really did, but I didn't realize it was this much power.
That power, a lot of people would not understand. That's what I have, I feel like, in that edge, that when people see what I do on the field, they can come to me and ask me, where you get the strength? How do you do it? And I can let them know it. You got to put your faith into action.
White's work ethic resulted in a season in which he produced 4 more sacks than the entire Atlanta Falcons team. His coach, Buddy Ryan, calls him the greatest defensive player he's ever seen. White, an accomplished impressionist, obviously earns respect.
No, I tell you, you know my coach, Buddy Ryan, I tell you, he's so ugly. When they cry, tears go down the back of his head, avoid his face, I tell you. Don't cut me for that, Buddy, okay?
He is a player that has to dominate the game. He's the best defensive lineman I've ever been around. With the ability the good Lord gave him is unbelievable.
On the pass rush, I think my best asset is a bull rush. A lot of offensive linemen, they pride in not letting the guy run over. But I've been able to do that in just about every game I've played. Most of the time, bull rushing would take a lot of energy out of me. But I've been blessed enough where it had taken a lot of energy out of me. So that's probably my best asset as a pass rusher, is the run over guy. I try to play the game fair, to play it like it needs to be played, and to reach a level that no one else has reached, and that's to be the best at what I do.
Reggie White, the most feared pass rusher in the game today and most valuable player in the NFC East. '87 was another banner year for the NFL's all-time top-rated quarterback, Dan Marino. The Dolphins' golden boy took a run at the record books with touchdown passes in 30 consecutive games. Once again, his quick release and accurate arm almost single-handedly made Miami a winner.
Marino looking to his left. He throws for the corner of the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. Great catch by Mark Clayton. Marino lofted a perfect pass. And
I think Dan Marino became a more complete quarterback. He understands a lot more about the overall offense. He's always been a guy that can read coverages and throw the football and sense the rushers coming and know when the blitz was there and he had to throw to the hot receiver.
Clayton, he's got it for a touchdown.
This year I felt that he learned more about our overall scheme of offense, in particular the running game. He realizes that you just can't throw the ball on every down, and you have to have some type of running attack to complement the passing game. And I think it was because of this awareness of our offensive scheme and the things that he could do, he was able to be a more complete quarterback.
He's a fighter. He might go out one series and throw an interception, okay? And he'll come right back and throw a touchdown.
Marino lofts it downfield. Clayton is there. He's got it for a touchdown. Marino.
I don't think you ever have complete success in stopping a Dan Marino, because he's going to deliver the ball so quickly on you. The only chance you have is keep his receivers tied up long enough in there that you can get some pressure on him, because he's not the greatest runner in the world.
Marino, play fakes. He's going to run it in for a touchdown. Bootleg.
But it's his rifle right arm that brought Marino fame and fortune, and the title of the AFC East's most valuable player.
Across the middle, caught by Duper. He may score. 25, 20, down to the 10, 5, touchdown, Dolphins. 50 yards.
While the Dolphins' Dan Marino swaggers off the field, after 2 straight seasons of injuries, the 49ers' Joe Montana is lucky to be able to walk off at all. But Montana enjoyed the best season of his career and again proved he has the courage of a champion.
After seeing him in the hospital and after seeing him suffer and trying to come back from his surgery, it has to give you inspiration, but also at the same time, it shows you why Joe Montana is probably the best football player and one of the most competitive people that I've ever met in my life.
Montana has the ball. Back to pass going deep. He's throwing to the goal line to Rice. He leaps. He catches it. Touchdown, 49ers. Joe Montana. You think he's got a sore back? Well, it certainly doesn't hurt his throwing.
He was given a total medical go-ahead. But I also know the kind of sport this has become. It's a very physical and violent sport on occasion. And there are some people in it that scare you. So consequently, Joe knew, and of course, naturally, all of us knew, including myself, what he was in for.
2 years ago, Montana and the 49ers were literally knocked out of the playoffs by the New York Giants. As the 1987 season began, doubts lingered that gutsy number 16 would ever be a winner again.
Well, I didn't think I had anything to prove because I knew that I'd come back from something that was catastrophic, and people were writing me off as they always do around here, so it's nothing new.
With just 2 seconds left in the second week of the new season, Montana proved he hadn't lost his knack for a dramatic comeback.
Here's Montana throwing for the end zone. Rice leaps. He's got it. Touchdown, 49ers. They win it. That's incredible. That's an incredible ball game, my friend. 49ers win it by a score of 27-26.
The crazier things get, the more pressure that comes at the end of the ball game, it seems the more relaxed he is. And I think that's unique to this person. I don't think you can just learn that. I think it comes as part of your personality. And he seems to handle the pressure situations very well.
He's like Indiana Jones. He can go up against odds, and he just believes in himself. He believes that nothing can stop him. And Joe just has this one tangible that it's hard to describe, but it always equals wins.
Inspirational Joe Montana, MVP of the NFC West. If any player in the league spent more time on the sidelines than Joe Montana, it was the Chicago Bears' controversial cult hero, Jim McMahon. The injury-prone quarterback started only 6 regular season games. But when he's in the Bears huddle, his team almost always wins, prevailing in 29 of the last 30 games the outrageous ones started. Thus, the McMahon mystique.
I love to play. I want things to go right, and I work my butt off to make them right. Maybe the extra effort that I give or the enthusiasm that I have, maybe that rubs off on the guys. I really don't know what it is, but I can't accept losing, and I won't accept it. And those guys, they understand that. And when they see me putting out a little extra effort, then it makes them work harder.
Contrary to what a lot of people think, he's very dedicated to doing what he does and doing it well. He doesn't approach things maybe like a lot of other quarterbacks do, but that's okay, because I don't approach coaching the way a lot of other people approach it. So I think that's where we get along fine. And I really like the way his teammates think about him. I think that's important. If you're a quarterback and you're put in that position of authority and leadership, that they should respect you.
The ultimate accolade from the tempestuous coach came when he compared McMahon's competitiveness to the Bears' Dick Butkus.
That's a hell of a compliment if that's what he said. What mode was he in when he said it? I wouldn't mind being compared to Dick Butkus. Guys in the Hall of Fame, maybe I'll be in there one day. Most injured player in the NFL.
And inarguably, one of its most valuable. In the sub-zero temperatures of Soldier Field, McMahon's renowned competitiveness and infamous health were severely tested in the NFC playoff against the Washington Redskins. For 3 quarters, number 9 kept his team in the game. But he and the Bears fell to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Jim McMahon, a loser in the NFC playoffs, but winner of the NFC Central Most Valuable Player.
You got it tight! Tight, tight! Set hot! Red 98! Red 98! Hot! Hot!
Whether it's legged, lobbed, or lasered, John Elway delivers the football. He's the most versatile and athletic quarterback in the league.
Well, there's no doubt. I think the thing that separates him from anybody else are his physical abilities.
Red 28! Hot!
I've never seen a guy who could take a busted play and turn it into more big plays than he can. And I think that's what separates him from the rest. And his ability is as good as anybody's, but his ability to improvise is better than anybody's.
And so is his rocket right arm, which impales receivers with the football.
John's arm is incredibly strong, I'm telling you. He can probably throw the ball over 60 miles an hour.
We have what we call a jugs machine. It's like a tennis ball machine or a baseball machine that shoots the ball out. This one shoots out football. And you can crank it up to like 80. We caught on that to try to simulate John's speed because there's no way that you can catch from another quarterback or from a coach and get the same effect. He sort of gets you to catch the ball with your hands more too because of the concentration factor of the speed of the ball. And then you know if you're going to catch it on your body, get ready for some pain because they could literally stick to you. You probably wouldn't even have to catch it. So.
When you have great quarterbacks that have great arms, you're never out of a football game. And John has tremendous confidence in his ability now because he's come through in so many tough situations to win football games for us.
You know, if everyone looks in the eyes of the quarterback and sees that he feels good about what they're doing, then, you know, it's going to pick everybody else up.
Spread black left slot. Right here. Spread black left slot, 62. Option left, shoot it on one-on-one. Hurry up!
So there's no question in my mind that the level of the confidence of the quarterback is going to have a lot to do with how you play offensively.
In 1987, John Elway continued to fulfill his vast potential by taking his team to the Super Bowl for the 2nd straight season. For those reasons and more, he is the most visible and valuable player in his division. While Elway ran away from the competition in the West, a rapidly rising star stole the spotlight in the AFC Central. Bernie Kosar, the kid from Cleveland, took his team to the division title for the 3rd time in 3 years.
End zone touchdown!
He is certainly not a picturesque NFL drop-back quarterback, as it were. But I've never felt the way you look getting something done is as important as your ability to get it done. As a result, I think there's probably even a greater respect for him because as some people view him, he's overcoming that lack of natural athletic ability. I think that he thrives on the intellectual aspect of the game.
Bernie Kosar is like a walking computer, football computer. He reads things so well. He can get himself out of danger by thinking real quick.
You need to know how to make the quick decisions. You're not overly blessed with a lot of time out there, and you need to be able to think on the run and be able to adapt. There's a cerebral end to this game. It's one thing that I need to work to my advantage. If I'm not a scrambling quarterback and the type of quarterback that's going to run around and run the option, so I need to make up for it, be able to read the defenses, understand where they are, and try to find the one-on-one matchups.
A home run ball for Weathers. Got it, Brett, touchdown! Boy, that on the money. Kosar backpedaling, 5-step drop, pops it over the middle to Slaughter, loose him to 40. He has gone for a touchdown. That play took about 2 seconds to develop, and was gone.
He's brilliant on the field. There's no question about that. You know, there used to be an adage around pro football that it took 5 years for a rookie quarterback to become comfortable and effective. Bernie had to start his first year, and it took us to 13 wins his second year. So I have really never seen any limitations because of his age.
Quite a few people have mentioned to me how young I am to play in this league, but I think once you step on that field, your age is really no factor because you're expected to perform and you're expected to win.
Kosar clearly wins. Despite being called the NFL version of Ichabod Crane, he somehow gets the job done. How does he do it? The answer lies in those steely eyes that miss absolutely nothing on a football field. Incredibly, for one so young, Kosar's interception rate is the league's lowest in the past 2 years. His completion rate is over 62%, and last season, he led the entire American Conference in passing. Despite his age, Bernie knows how to look off a defender, then find a secondary target. And he does most of his damage sidearm.
I basically always have been a three-quarter to sidearm thrower. I've had quite a few people that have worked with me to try to get that to be overhand, but it's helped me out in eluding pass rushes and getting the ball off at the last second.
The Browns have helped Kosar's immobility by employing a cheat step, which gives him a head start on his drop into the pocket. But no one can teach the kind of touch Bernie can put on a football.
He has a feel back there. I've seen quarterbacks that could never feel the rush. I think Bernie has developed over the first couple of years in the league a feel and ability to get rid of the ball. Howie Long was quoted as saying that he thought he had him 5 or 6 times in a game we played against the Raiders this season. But he never got there because he got rid of the ball before he came.
Another thing about Bernie will nickel and dime you. It seems like he's nickel and dime you on the field. 5-yard pass in, 5-yard pass in, and all of a sudden he'll lower your sleep, and then there's a big one down the field.
Home run ball deep down the left side. Slaughter, 50, 10, 5, touchdown! Kosar dropped it right into his hands. A perfect bomb. Sneaky fast, Webster Slaughter.
He's very funny in the huddle at times. Like the first play of the Pittsburgh game, there was some music playing in the background over the intercoms, and he asked the linemen, you know, which one of you guys could name what song this is, and they all kind of giggled. But he's also a big leader on the field.
I don't think you'll ever convince him that he can't win a game. I think it's that kind of faith that he's built up on this football team.
The true measure of any quarterback is winning. Bernie now for 3 seasons in a row has led this team to 3 consecutive divisional championships, and I think that probably speaks more clearly about him than anything that anyone can say.
He won the passing championship of the American Football Conference and finished 4th in the balloting for the Pro Bowl. I really think when it's all said and done, he may not have the honors a lot of his contemporaries have, but he may have more championships.
Bernie Kosar, the People's Choice for the Gillette NFL Most Valuable Player Award.
Although I played professional football for the Cleveland Browns, my collegiate career began at the University of Miami, here in South Florida. Hello, I'm Bernie Kosar, and I'm honored to be the People's Choice for this year's Gillette NFL MVP Award. I'm proud to be recognized by Gillette, a company that's committed to bringing you the very best, and to accept this most valuable player sculpture, along with an 18-karat gold Omega Constellation watch. I'm especially proud of this, my first major professional award, because fans across the entire country were responsible for my winning. Who will be voted as MVP next season? I'd like to be selected again. One thing's for certain, I'll be watching, and I hope you do too.